What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? PlotArmorCards in the house, and everybody's excited with the release of Darkwing Blast, and everyone's scrambling to pick up cards day one, and so you have to take a look at this article. So I thought we'd take a look at it together. The 10 cards everybody wants from Yu-Gi-Oh Darkwing Blast. And so I want to take a look at this and see, hey, what do we agree with, what do we not agree with? But for sure, some of these are going to be worth picking up, if not all of them, because Darkwing Blast is a legendary set. So first of all, we got ourselves at number 10, Ignis Phoenix the Draco Slayer. During your main phase, this is the pendulum effect by the way, you can shuffle one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, then add one non-pendulum Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from your deck to your hand. Then you can only use this effect once per turn. Pretty good searcher, right? Secondly, the monster effect. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from your deck, except Ignis Phoenix the Draco Slayer, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. Insane card for the archetype, definitely worth picking up. And day one is usually the time that things like this are at their cheapest. So definitely would recommend looking into this card if you're into this archetype. Next, at number 9, okay, I did not expect this to be this low. Kshatriya Fenrir. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. During your main phase, you can add one Kshatriya monster from your deck to your hand. When this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, banish it face down. Now, people are really excited about this new archetype. But also, this card really is seeing function as a, like, roided up Pankratops is like the best way I could describe it. They're really interested in this card as a roided up Pankratops, as just a card that can get rid of opponent's monsters that you control, and it just has insane potential, and we've seen it being used consistently in the OCG, and so we are definitely seeing it rising for us in the TCG as well. At number 8, Blackwing-Sudri the Phantom Glimmer. Blackwings are one of my favorite archetypes, especially from the anime. Anytime an anime archetype gets love, you know it's going to get something that people want on their list. So this card's effect is, when this card is normal summon, you can add one card that mentions Blackwing Dragon from your deck to your hand, except Blackwing-Sudri the Phantom Glimmer. Now, I haven't tested this card myself, but that is pretty much all of the new cards, I think. That's a great searcher overall. You contribute one monster, special summon one Phantom Glimmer token, Winged Beast Tuner. Oh, it's a tuner token. Wow, okay, that's pretty good. Then you take 700 damage. You cannot special summon a monster from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect, except synchro monsters. So if you happen to have another synchro on the field, you can use this thing's effect, and then immediately synchro into it using its own effect. So that's pretty dope. I like that. I can completely understand why that's there. Number 7, Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle. The Labrynth archetype is definitely one that people are really hyped about, and rightfully so. It's another trap archetype that's actually fairly decent. So definitely something worth looking up, and definitely something worth picking up. Lady Labrynth is really good support overall for that archetype. While you control a set card, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So it's a trap deck, right? So yeah, that's insane. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. You can only use the following effects once per turn. If a Labrynth card or effect of a normal trap was activated this turn, except Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position. When a normal trap card is activated, you can set one normal trap with a different name directly from your deck. This is insane. The ability to search, the ability to special summon, that's really good. Plus, it has itself some protection. I'm thinking about maybe running this in my Eldritch deck, although it's not at all as effective as it would be in the Labrynth deck, because I like to run a lot of floodgates. So if it comes to the point where like most Eldritch would be just like normal trap based, then this definitely would be insane in that deck. But for now, definitely really good for the Labrynth deck. Bumps it up insane amounts. The Amazon and the Ninja cards at number 6. So Ninja and Amazon technically both are in the anime, if you count Jean-Claude Magnum as technically his cards were Ninja. But these cards are really dope. You're not going to see them very much competitively. It's just an archetype, two archetypes rather, that that have special places in their hearts, and definitely both of them have their own like fun. They're really fun, I would say, to play. So they're the dirt cheap. What, $1 for this boss monster, 16 cents for this boss monster. So if you're looking for something that's super fun to play, and something that's relatively cheap to pick up, I would definitely recommend Ninjas. I haven't tried out Amazoness myself, but it's pretty cheap too, right? So next, we got ourselves Sprite Sprint. Now this card is going to be really, really good for the Sprite archetype. 2 monsters, including a level/rank/link 2 monster. So it's similar enough to the other link monster for the sprites. Cannot be used as link material the turn it is link summoned. You can only use one of the following effects of Sprite Sprint once per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is link summoned, you can send 1 level 2 monster from your deck to the grave. If another monster is special summon while this card is on the field, except during the damage step, you can detach a material from an Xyz monster, then target 1 monster on the field, turn it to the hand. That is going to be very, very annoying in sprites. Not to mention, technically tier elements could take advantage of this too. So yeah, I can definitely see why this is really, really wanted. Plus, I mean, technically, it doesn't even say it has to be spread tier elements monster, right? If you're running any deck that like has level 2s mainly, like maybe I'll try it out in my Melfi deck. Maybe we'll see how that goes, right? But definitely something that's worth picking up because that has the ability to do some insane damage to your opponent. Next, we got Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. This card is actually really, really good just in the Fallen of Elbaz / branded archetype. If you control a Fallen of Elbaz or it is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. It is really, really easy to get a Fallen of Elbaz in your grave with the fusion spell, right? Quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 level 8 or higher fusion monster from your extra deck using this monsters from your hand or field as material. During the end phase, if a fusion monsters was sent to the graveyard this turn, you can add this card from the graveyard to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. Now, I bought out all the singles I wanted this morning. I think earlier this morning this was hovering around, this was way cheaper, I feel like, earlier this morning, and people are really, really just buying out cards. So this is getting up there in price. 25 bucks, yeah, not bad, but I would say it's definitely more expensive than it was before. So tier elements, Root Kalos. Anytime a tier elements gets a fusion monster, you already know what's going to happen, right? Other aqua monsters you cannot control, cannot be destroyed by battle. Pretty good protection, which means since tier elements like to be destroyed by card effect, your opponent has no choice but to destroy them by card effect or hit this one first, right? That has the potential to, if your opponent destroys your monsters by card effects, it has the potential to pop off your combos, or if they choose to hit this first, it has the potential to just screw with what your opponent is doing first off the bat. When your opponent activates a card effect that includes the special summons a monster quick effect, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy it, then send 1 tier elements card from your hand or face up on the field to the grave. This is insane because not only does it negate, it sends 1 straight to the grave, which can pop off a lot of different combos, and this can happen during your opponent's turn, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So yeah, that's kind of good. I was asking some people at my locals, and shockingly, like, a lot of them like didn't want to even try this out, which is kind of crazy. Like they just weren't feeling it for some reason. This card I feel like is pretty broken. So number 3, it's pretty justified. Tier elements is going to be tier 0 soon with the Ishizu stuff. So number 3 is pretty justified. Spellbound at number 2. Okay. Now I've been getting some mixed reviews and opinions on this one. All face-up monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be tributed or used as material for fusion, synchro, link, or Xyz summon till the end of this turn. So dimensional barrier, basically it shuts your opponent down out of one thing that you please, but it excludes links. So I guess this is going to cover that. But it says all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. So if you're up against like something like a branded deck, they can fusion summon from their deck. If it's something like this deck here, they can still get around it. So me personally, I'm not gonna buy this. I'm gonna wait. I don't really see a need as for right now. But then again, I always sleep on cards until they're used against me at locals, and then I'm like, actually this is pretty good. Maybe I should have picked it up. So for personally, I'm gonna wait on this one. I don't know why. It's kind of crazy that this is rated more than some of the other stuff on here, but I guess I don't think he said in any specific order. It's possible he just listed 10 cards that are really popular right now, right? So, and then lastly, the Bestial Libellion. I was wondering when we'd see this thing. Cannot be normal summon set, must be special summon from your hand or graveyard by tributing 1 level 6 or higher dark dragon monster. You can only special summon this card once per turn that way. You can only send you can send this card from your hand to the grave, add 1 bestial monster from your deck to your hand. Insane Searcher, except the Bestial Libellion. During your main phase, you can place 1 branded continuous spell or trap from your deck to your field. That's really, really good as well. Has the ability to search branded banishment. I do like that. Plus, I think no. I'm mistaken there. I'm sorry about that. I'm mistaken there. Banishment is not continuous, so you can ignore that. But still, there are other spells and traps that can be searched that are, as long as they're continuous, right? Including the, I believe the archetype specific one, branded continuous spell, does work for that as well. So I think overall this is a pretty solid list. He didn't mention anything about it being any particular order, but if I were to put it in any particular order, I would definitely put this higher, Kshatriya Fenrir. This might be a little bit lower. It's possible this might be higher too, given that this is a little bit high as well. Yeah, so might put this one a little bit lower, just based on like the excitement I've seen about these cards in my own person, in my own experience. So it's definitely possible that based on my experience, this is how it is, but just the overall scene of Yu-Gi-Oh might be a little bit different, you know. So Cartesia, yep. Overall though, I'd say this is, yep. These are really good cards, sorry, that people are hyped about. They're really nice cards, and they're cards I'm hyped about too. And so you guys can let me know what you guys think. Was there any other cards you'd put on this list? Is there any cards on this list that you guys are hyped about? You guys can let me know in the comments down below. And this is PlotArmorCards, guys, signing out for the day. If you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.